Hello, weird people, or hello, weird people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I usually do Roblox videos or reaction videos like this one. I am Chris. I like that name. I usually like to be called Wolfie, a wolf dog. But let's get into it. So, why did Felix do the Miraculous? I love this dude. I love this dude. He does a lot of Miraculous videos. So, let's get into this.
Hey there, and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug video. And today...
Hello. Sorry, I'm drinking water.
I want to talk a little bit about Felix, and more specifically, Felix's storyline during the latest series of Miraculous. Now, as we know, Felix has had one of the more well-received storylines since his introduction to the show. Despite his relatively few appearances, he's had a lot of development. And it's really gotten to the point that whenever he appears on screen, you know that shit is about to go down. When he first...
That is true, though. That is true. Like, something is very to go down with Felix. You know, if you watched the episode Felix, shit, I liked it, but not really that much. But it was a good episode.
Appeared during season 3 in an episode aptly named Felix, his whole...
I know, right? Gets the episode named after him. Lucky.
Arc seemed to revolve around him being a bit of an asshole to Adrian for some reason, and trying to get his hands on the family rings that served as Gabe and Emily's wedding bands.
Yes, because he wanted to give them to his mother because her mother really wanted them.
And in the end of that episode, he manages to snag one of the rings from Gabe, leaving him looking like a fool and cementing the beginning of their mysterious rivalry. And this episode left us with a number of questions. The first, why does Felix want the rings? Is it sentimental value, or is there another reason that also starts with the prefix senti? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh, and it was less talked about, but I also wondered why he suddenly hated Adrian out of nowhere.
That is true. Like, they used to be best friends, they said. They used to be. Maybe because of the death of his father. That's what I'm thinking. His death of his father.
After years of supposedly being the best of friends.
Alex started learning piano, but the nursery rhymes she's playing are a bit disturbing.
I've listened to this ad so many times, and so I have now, I know the songs now. Ladybug, ladybug, fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children are gone.
Ladybug, ladybug, fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children are gone.
He suddenly hated Adrian out of nowhere after years of supposedly being the best of friends. Perhaps it's connected, perhaps not, but I'd like to see an explanation for that one day. Anyway, by the time we actually got to see him again, we'd come to season 4, and upon his return to the Egrest mansion, he's confronted by Gabe, who demands the return of his ring, leading to Felix giving him a fake, and starting his plans to steal the Miraculouses from him, as he realises that Gabe is Shadow Moth. And meanwhile, Gabe makes some really suspicious threats revolving around making Felix disappear with a snap of his fingers. And on top of...
Maybe because he's a senti monster. Is that what it is? A senti monster? Something like
that, his ring-twisting habit intensifies. Basically, the writer's screaming at us, "Look at this! Oh, it's an important plot point! Pay attention!" And then we get to the finale, where Felix manages to get his hands on the Miraculouses, and specifically uses the peacock. Only to realise he stole fakes from Gabe before he actually manages to steal the real Miraculouses from Ladybug and swaps them with Gabe for the peacock, whilst also giving him...
Why do you want the peacock so bad? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why I clicked on this video, because it says, why did Felix steal the peacock Miraculous? Like, just trying to think.
Back the ring as well, saying he won't need it anymore. And all I'm thinking here is, what's going on? So that's really what I want to talk through today. The reasons behind why Felix would want the Peacock Miraculous in the first place. The reasons why the ring matters. And what the hell's going on with his anger at Gabe and Adrian. So we'll start with the obvious, right? It's pretty clear that there are some Sentimonster shenanigans going on in this story. For starters, let's look at the ring.
Sentimonster. That just sounds weird. Just to say that. I don't know, I don't like...
For some reason, Felix wants this ring quite badly at first. Yes, they're the family rings, but there's also clearly something more to the story, considering after he receives the peacock, he no longer needs or wants it. Plus, there is the emphasis placed on Gabe rubbing his ring finger and giving Adrian orders as if he's using the item that would control a Sentimonster.
Exactly! Everyone thinks Adrian is Sentimonster, but like, I was thinking first, how would he be Sentimonster when he already gave Gabriel his Miraculous? But no, it's because he has freedom, and because Gabriel didn't rub his finger and be like, "Are you Cat Noir?" He wouldn't do that. I at least think. I don't know.
And then there's also Gabe threatening to make Felix disappear with a snap of his fingers, pretty much alluding directly to the fact that Felix is indeed a Sentimonster. So to me, there's really three possible theories that really explain things somewhat. Either Felix is a Sentimonster, Adrian's the Sentimonster, or they're both Sentimonsters. Anything other than this, literally anything else, would feel like they've been teasing this storyline for no reason, with no payoff, and would be really atrocious writing. So we'll start off with only Felix being a Sentimonster, and that Felix wants to have the Peacock Miraculous because he wants to keep himself safe, as he knows that he's a Sentimonster. And there is some evidence to support.
Or he knows that Adrian is a Sentimonster, so he does that to protect Adrian, and they're still best friends. Like good cousins. Huh? Huh? Huh?
This, I suppose. For starters, he wants the ring, and he trades it for the peacock. But why would he want the ring in the first place? Yes, they belong to the family, but they were being used as Gabe and Emily's wedding bands. It would be kind of selfish to take that away, wouldn't it? Especially since they'd probably just go to Adrian eventually. After all, they're still the same family. While this theory would suggest that the reason he wants that ring back so badly is that it's the item that holds his amok, and so while Gabe continues to hold on to it, he remains at risk of being controlled, hence his desperation at trying to get it back. And once he realises that Gabe also has the Peacock Miraculous, which can be used to straight up kill him, a fact that Gabe actually exploits in show, he decides he needs that as well. But honestly, this version of the theory has a number of big plot holes. One, why the hell would Emily risk her life using a busted Miraculous to make her sister a kid?
That's what I'm thinking. Why would he do that? Or maybe during it? I don't know. Something.
And two, why the hell would Felix just give the ring back? If this is his controller, why wouldn't he keep it with him? Or does the Sentimonster getting hold of the Peacock Miraculous and becoming its wielder nullify its power somehow? And hell, if this even was the case, how would he even know that his amok is in this specific ring? It's just a lot of plot holes and leaps in logic for this to be the endgame storyline, so I doubt that Felix is going to be the sole Sentimonster. So then the next potential idea is that it's Adrian who's the only Sentimonster. And this one does fit from the Adrian perspective. It would be likely that his mum made him. After all, I'm pretty sure Adele Bloch-Bauer, the woman in the actual painting that Emily's painting was based off, had no surviving children and was quite sickly. Seems familiar. And so this lines up with Emily not being able to have children and making one herself using a Miraculous. And then on top of that, he worships her memory. Seriously, not a mean thing to say about it at all. And if she used her ring to control him and his thoughts, as it's implied Gabe would do once he swapped the rings, then it would explain why he was so enamored with her. Although, on the other hand, Felix also seems to act this way. And he's just a nephew, and an angst machine nephew at that. So maybe she really was just a goddess in human form.
I don't know. People make this meme, like, gotcha meme, where, like, what was plan A? To blah, blah, blah. And what was plan B? Not to mess up plan A. Exactly! And you messed up plan A! I'm cold. I'm shivering. Okay.
But anyway, back to Adrian. This theory is also supported by him having absolutely no life and no desire to have a life until his mum suddenly kicks the bucket. I mean, remember Wishmaker and how his childhood dream was to be whatever his parents wanted him to be? That's sus to me.
Yes. I remember that. And I will never forget that. Because that's probably Gabe and Emily's.
Plus, on top of that, he has that ironic feather allergy. But once again, we come to that same plot hole. Why the hell, if this was the case, would Felix want the ring, if it's only Adrian? Why does he give the ring back? Why does he want the Miraculous so desperately? I mean, the only explanation I can see is that he knows his cousin is a senti-monster, and thus is trying to protect him from Gabe. But even then...
That's what I was saying. Like, he's trying to... What the frickin'... Remember, like, that video that I made about We Don't Talk About Bruno and this happened? With Mirabelle? It's happening to Marinette now.
And it doesn't really explain the whole storyline adequately enough at all. Because why would Felix pursue this sort of action? Why would he want the ring, and then the Miraculous with such a desperate need? Is this some sort of affection towards Adrian and a desire to protect him? No. It feels like it doesn't fit with his character at all, at least from what we've seen in the show. So once again, the idea that Adrian's the only senti-monster in the extended family doesn't work out for me. So aside from neither of them being senti-monsters, and this whole storyline being a waste of time, I think the only other reasonable explanation that makes a lot of sense is that they're both senti-monsters, and that their amux lie in the two twin rings. One...
Yeah. Like, probably Adrian ring was on Emily's finger before Felix. And that's how he got his freedom. And then Felix's ring is on Gabriel's finger, which he stole.
Is in Emily's, so of course that's probably the ring that would contain Adrian's amok, and the other, Gabe's ring, contains Felix's, so that would be the one he stole.
What the... Help me. Help me. How do I do this?
All from Gabe. And I think that for the most part, this theory does make sense, although once again, it doesn't explain why the hell would Felix just give back an item that can be used to control him. And it also doesn't explain who the hell...
Probably fake. Because remember, it was Gabriel Rest. He said he left that ring, Gabriel's ring, at home. There could be another fake.
made him in the first place. Maybe his dad, he's dead, right? And died recently, around when Emily died. Could that fit? Perhaps he is also frozen in some random basement. And I mean, there is that whole film called Solitude, which is produced by Graham Films, right? Does that mean that Felix's last name could be a double-barreled name where his parents combined last names? Like a hyphenated name, kind of? I don't know, it could fit. But I still feel like we're missing something. Or something that needs to be revealed. Because ultimately, Felix's actions don't make that much sense to me, regardless of the truth. Why would you give up the ring if it can control you? I mean...
It's because he probably gave him the fake ring. And didn't you see, like, Natalie move her glasses? And Felix / Adrian, when he was disguised as Felix, and it was either Risk or Strike Back. I think it was Risk. And he listened to her.
Unless, if you have the Miraculous, you become immune. Has that been explained? Don't know. But regardless, just based on most of the narrative and thematic evidence, this does feel like the most likely scenario to me. And I feel like the plot holes will likely just be brushed over and ignored forever. Oh well. But anyway, with all that being said, these were just my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What do you think's going on with this storyline?
I like your opinion. I really like your opinion.
Is it just weirdly written, or is there something that's going on that's going to be revealed to fix up this story? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know.
And here is his channel. If you want to go visit his channel. He does more than just Miraculous. He does a lot of... He did a Kung Fu Panda theory. Did Mulan. He did How to Train Your Dragon. So he does way more than just Miraculous, by the way. So shout out to him. Just say awesome. So if you're watching this, bye people.